Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Welcome to Pep Talk, the podcast where we give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God, when it comes to health and wellness topics that you see on social media, that you hear around the dinner table, and you might even see a little bit on the news about. And we give you common sense solutions to those problems and some takeaways that you can take back home to share with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And if you're a physician, like many doctors that watch this every day or play this in their waiting rooms at their offices, you can help your patients live a happier, healthier, more productive life. I'm your host, Dr. Eric Naputi, and I'm excited to talk to you a little bit today about one of my favorite conversational pieces, and that's the gut microbiome. Listen, I need you to understand something. I know you've heard about bacteria. I know you've heard about probiotics, but it's not what you think. It's not about just gas, bloating, distension, all those things. This is a serious conversation. I want to show you today how the data is clear that the healthier and more diverse the bacteria in and on our body, not just the healthier we are, but the better our brains are and the better that generations to come will be. The quality of the health of your body and your offspring seems to be determined based off of the health of the bacteria in and on your system. So let's dive into this conversation. So, did you know that gut microbes drive evolution of bigger brains in primates, bigger brains in humans? Now, I'm not getting into the evolution conversation. I don't want to get into that. I want to talk about science. I want to talk about science of gut microbiome and how it's affected the brains of primates. Okay. Now check this out. Let me give you kind of just a little some notes on this thing. You need to understand that your gut microbes are I mean, these things they're fascinating. You have trillions and trillions of bacteria in and on our body, more bacteria cells in and on your body than you have human cells in and on your body. And those bacteria cells have DNA. And the bacteria cells and the DNA of those cells affect positively and negatively our human cells and our DNA. So we truly are what we eat, and we truly are our bacteria. And if we don't have a good diverse bacteria, if we don't have a balanced system, we're not happy, healthy, and ultimately not wealthy individuals, period. So our gut microbiome plays a pivotal role in how energy is produced in the body and how it's used in the body. These tiny little microscopic organisms produce something called short chain fatty acids, okay, which is critical in influencing our overall metabolic function. And metabolism is not just gaining weight and losing weight, it's your body's ability to do work. It's your body's ability to repair itself, to make energy. All those things are part of it. So, for example, these short chain fatty acids, like acetates and others, they have a significant impact on glucose production and fat storage. Okay, so think about this for a minute. When you eat food, those foods have to convert into, those fats, carbs, and proteins convert into usable chemicals that our body can digest cellularly. And if we can't break those down, then we store them as fat. And if you don't have the right bacteria, the right short chain fatty acids, your body's going to immediately store it as fat and not use it as fuel. And then it cannot take that stored fat and burn it as fuel. So we're going to stay obese, all because we don't have the right bacteria. And it can also have you crave more carbohydrates, more quick sugary things, so you can get that quick spike. And that's going to destroy your bacteria in your body. So these bacteria, they actively shape the metabolic process of the host, right? Of you. Okay. But they have you ever wondered like how your gut microbiome really works? And have you ever wondered how like it affects like evolution of brain health? Okay. So interestingly enough, studies have been done looking at microbiomes of humans and other primates and other species as which support brain health. So these studies, larger brain primates, for instance, have gut microbiota that promote energy use on a bigger level, while smaller brain primates have a microbiota that favors energy storage. We want to use the energy, not store the energy. And what's been found out is that the better evolution of your gut bacteria, the better your brain's able to function, the better your body's able to use stored fat. And fat as fuel is a way cleaner, healthier, better balanced fuel source. And the byproduct of burning fat are ketones. And those ketone bodies keep the brain on point. Many of you know this if you've ever shifted your diet from sugar, carbohydrate diet to fats and protein type diet, a keto slash carnivore type diet versus a standard American diet, if you will. And then you mix in some intermittent fasting and you shift your body into a fat burner. You do that and you think more clearly. Your brain works better. Your immune system's better. Everything works better because inflammation is down and the bacteria now are working at a better level. So the underlying metabolic differences in really each of these species is the microbiota. And the microbiota is the DNA expression of your microbiome. And these are rooted in their respected abilities for your body to produce short chain fatty acids, which you should be consuming short chain fatty acids on a daily basis. By the way, short chain fatty acids are in things like ghee butter, healthy grass fed butters. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the probiotics in your gut and in your body, on your body, mix with something called prebiotics, which is fiber. So primarily vegetable fiber and some fruit fibers mixed together. Those bacteria eat that fiber as fuel, and then it makes something called short chain fatty acids. So if you have good fiber and good bacteria, I use a master microbiotics formula. I take 2 of them every night before I go to bed. I eat fermented foods and I have a diversity throughout the week. I try to eat 30 different types of vegetables during the week to get that biodiversity of your gut bacteria. And that's what helps produce that short chain fatty acid, which really determines whether energy is used or if it's stored. And the more short chain fatty acids your body makes and you consume, the better it burns that fat as fuel. And you instead of storing it as fat or adipose tissue, which by the way, your fat is where your toxins are stored. So you're storing toxins in your body as opposed to burning the fuel source. So let's take a look at a gut microbiota of primates. Okay. And there's a reason why I'm talking about primates and humans. So a study published in microbial genomics investigated how gut microbiota across different primates influences species and their metabolism. Specifically, the research is focused on a relationship between brain size and energy requirements. The study found they utilized all kinds of techniques. I'm not going to go into that. But and they looked at 3 different primates and et cetera. But the study found that primates' gut microbiota contributes to the differences between metabolism and storing fat and using fat. Okay. Basically, they found that the larger brain primates shifted to a metabolism that was more for using energy. Now, if they didn't they didn't have the right foods and they didn't have the short chain fatty acids, those primates neurologically degenerated. They became withdrawal. They had emotional ups and downs. They weren't social. They kept to themselves. They had outbursts. They weren't doing daily normal tasks like they should. Those that had the good microbiota, the good short chain fatty acid production, had that. They were more social. They had more interaction in the community. They were able to process tasks better and have better outcomes and have better survivability skills, all because of the gut microbiome. And they measured the IQs and the EQs. IQ is, it's an intellectual term. EQ is your emotional IQ, right? They found that the individual groups that had more short chain fatty acids and a healthier microbiome had a higher IQ and a higher EQ. So not only could they figure tasks out, but they could also work better within the community, which if you know anything about life, right? If you know anything about how life works, you need to be able to, have a social EQ as well as an IQ. The study identified short chain fatty acids, and they found that primates that consumed a diversity of plants and foliages and had a good gut microbiota had a higher production of short chain fatty acids. What I would suggest is you supplement, as a human, you supplement short chain fatty acids. You give the body the fiber that it needs to fuel the gut microbiota. And then, okay, now listen, and then what you do is you have the right gut microbiome bacteria. I like using products that have the right fungi and living spore-based bacteria that'll help with that. So this is kind of interesting. I'm going to talk about short chain fatty acids and energy production a little bit, because if you're got up and went, it could be very well because you don't have enough short chain fatty acids in your system because you're consuming too many vegetable oils, consuming too many seed oils, too many processed fats, too many processed foods, too much processed lunch meat, too much processed cheese, and not eating real food. Okay. So it's interesting to note that there was an increased production of short chain fatty acids by the gut microbiota that positively influenced the liver genetics and help with detoxification. These host metabolic differences were associated with changes in liver expression, which basically helped the animals and the participants live longer. By the way, if you have liver issues, that's going to cause skin problems. Short chain fatty acids could help with that. Eating good probiotics and prebiotics could help with that. If you have liver issues, you're going to have a higher chance of high blood pressure. Eating short chain fatty acids, prebiotics, probiotics could help with that. In Eastern medicine, the liver is known as the angry one. Okay. If the liver is out of balance, we get hypoglycemia. People can pass out. They can have vasovagal responses. If they go too long without eating something, they can get, itchy, twitchy, and hangry, right? It shows that that balancing the gut microbiome and having short chain fatty acid production is a key for that. Again, they also found out that there was a higher IQ and a higher EQ in those individuals. And I think this is important to note. There's a massive elevation in non-alcohol fatty liver syndrome that's happening in the world today. That's higher than it's ever been. And folks, I need you to understand that the reason why that's happening is because of all the sugars and carbohydrates and high fructose corn syrup that you're consuming and your children are consuming, leading to elevated liver enzymes. Well, this study indicates that if you get those short chain fatty acids up by eating more prebiotics and good healthy probiotics and having ghee butter and good healthy short chain fatty acids as a supplement, then guess what? Then your body has a higher IQ and an EQ. I don't know about you, but I think that's really important. If I can protect my liver, because if the liver goes bad, there's research and data that shows that if the liver is problematic, you're going to have a higher risk of metabolic diseases, including diabetes and certain types of cancer. So if I can reduce my weight, improve my energy, improve my IQ, EQ, which ultimately improves my longevity, I think I should do that. And that's what this study is really alluding to. So let's talk about some other ways to optimize your gut health. Nourishing beneficial bacteria with eating certain healthy foods. Lots of different varieties of vegetables, not the same ones, different ones and different colors. Okay. Eating lots of good variety is the key. Having fermented foods, kombucha, kimchi, bok choy, sauerkraut, those are powerful things to do and consume. And if you're going to have fruits, focus on whole fruits. Okay. Berries are really the best with that, but there are some other fruits that are really good for fiber consumption. Some green apples, acai, pomegranate, etc., are really good. Nurture a carbon dioxide rich environment and eliminate harmful foods. So listen, minimizing processed foods is really what this is, and eating real foods, eliminating vegetable oils, staying away from nut oils, staying away from processed foods. Eating real foods is the key to that. Optimizing your short chain fatty acid production while protecting your gut barrier, eating things like ghee butter and other foods that benefit short chain fatty acids, and protect your mitochondria by eating healthy fats, avocado, having things like extra virgin olive oil. I'm a big fan of that. Having things like MCT oil on a daily basis. When I cook my food on my vegetables, I put organic extra virgin olive oil on it. We cook food, we cook with MCT oil. I have a piece of chicken or beef or whatever, I'm going to put a big thing of ghee butter on that afterwards. If I'm going to have a coffee, I'm putting that ghee butter inside that coffee or extra virgin olive oil or something. These are things that really can move the dial. So listen, I know this is a lot of information, but if you read between the lines on this is a powerful conversation. It can help you, help your family, help your patients get more short chain fatty acids. Eat a diversified, multicolored variety of vegetables. Moderate your fruits. Berries are going to be the key. Having a good pre and probiotic in your diet and having that short chain fatty acids. So listen, here's what I want you to do. Go back, rewatch this, share this with your friends and family, like, subscribe, and share. Go to our website, peptalk.world. That's peptalk.world. Because listen, knowledge is power, but wisdom is taking that knowledge and applying it to your life. So, folks, until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless the world. Stay smart out there, and I'll see you soon. Be well.